What's up, everybody? Welcome to Revolve TV. I'm your host, Austin Crottinger, and today I'm going to be showing you some basic tracking techniques within After Effects CC. Before we get going on that, I just have a couple announcements to make. The first announcement that I have to make is that we do have a new Revolve TV layout. I really like this a lot more than the old layout. It just looks a whole lot more professional. My second announcement is that on the 6th and the 7th, I'm going to be recording a music video for somebody that I grew up with. I'm really excited about it. Her name is Shelby. She went down to Nashville, Tennessee to record a song. She actually re-recorded I Walk the Line, but in a more upbeat version. I'm going to have links on all of that in the description below whenever that time passes. And my next announcement is on the 23rd of September. I'm going to be shooting a wedding in Springfield, Missouri at the Viridian. I'm really excited about this. The Viridian has just such a nice venue and it looks really nice, and I'm just looking forward to what kind of shots I'm going to be able to grab from that. That is going to be on the 23rd. There's going to be a link to the wedding video below. So just after these dates come up, check the links and you can watch all that stuff for yourself, whatever. Okay, so the last announcement I have to make is just some encouragement to myself and hopefully to all the people who subscribe to Revolve TV and follow us. Day one when we started Revolve TV up there in Bolivar, we, zero subscribers, nothing. We were absolutely nothing, and we're building our way up. And as you can tell now, we are at about 200 subscribers, and it's really exciting to see. Just that's a lot of encouragement just to keep doing this and stuff. So we thank you guys, all the Revolve TV supporters. Okay, so you guys are probably done listening to me talk. Let's just get right into the tutorial. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up After Effects. As you can tell, I already have After Effects up here opened. If you don't know how to work After Effects, this is going to be just a basic, simple guide. It's basically for beginners. Like I said, we're going to be just showing you some simple tracking. Now, one thing that you might keep in mind before we get going with the tutorial is tracking with this program is kind of hard on a computer. You need a pretty decent computer to be able to run this. The old Lenovo I had struggled when it came to tracking. It was really laggy and the program crashed a couple times on me. So keep in mind you do need a decent computer to do this, especially if you're going to be using high quality. So as you can see, I already imported my files here. If you don't know how to import, click File, Import File, and then choose the file that you're going to want to use to be tracking. So I'm going to just go ahead and drag that down here, which is going to create a new composition, as you can tell right up here. For purposes of the video, I'm going to just make the quality go to half to make it go a little better. Actually, a third. There we go. This thing should fly now. So you guys are probably first off wondering why there's black dots here. Now you want to make sure when you track that you can, the tracker is easy, it's easy for the tracker to find what it's wanting to track. So here we have this dot. Now it's going to be on a tan background and then a white background, making this whole section easy to track. Now if I was wanting to track down here and you see how the colors are kind of blending together, the tracker is going to have a really hard time. Also, when something's moving really fast, it's going to be really hard to track as well. So the first step that you're going to want to do is go ahead and click on the layer that you're going to want to track. I'm just using this use. We can relabel this as hand. We'll just call it hand. And I'm wanting to track this. So to track it, you make sure it's selected. And then if you're on a PC, you right click on it. And if you're on a Mac, you control click on it. And you go down here to where it says track motion. Okay, and as you can tell, we do have this little box that popped up. Now, this is basically the tracker right here. This outer box here, actually, let me explain that. So if you click on the inside of the box, you can just kind of drag it up and move it to where you want to track. So I'm going to move it to my black dots because that's what I'm going to have it follow. Okay, so if you're zooming in here, you can see that this inner box, this is going to be what you want to track, okay? So right now, if I have it like this, I'm tracking solely the black dot. Now, I want to track the whole finger, not just the black dot. So I'm going to expand that a little bit. I'm just going to put this exactly around where I want to track. I'm tracking the tip of her finger here. So I'm making the box just as big as the finger is, just like that. About like that. Okay, now basically that's exactly what the computer is going to look for every frame that it moves. This right here is how far the computer is going to look. So if I keep it just like that, the computer is only going to look for it in this space. So that means if the dot's up here, then it's going to move everything up here. But if the dot comes outside of this outward box, then the tracker is not going to know what to do, and it's going to freak out. So that's why we kind of make this bigger. So if my finger does move outside of this normal box, the computer is going to look for it in this whole area. So it's going to look for it and find it up here. If that makes any sense at all. Tracking, it's basically simple. You just gotta kind of understand it. Okay, so as you can see, I already have my points set up. Now to track this, it's quite simple. You're just going to start going down here to where it says Analyze, and you're going to be clicking on the these buttons down here. The play button is going to automatically do it for it's going to do it for you. I don't like this because if it does mess up, it's hard to fix. So I usually like just to go frame by frame. So if I click Analyze 1 frame forward, it loads. There we go. You can see now that we have these blue dots. Let me zoom in real quick. You can see that this black dot moved from here to here. Okay? And like I said, if I don't like this, I can just move this. Oop, not that. I can just move the dot. You see what I'm saying? So now if I was to back that back up, it's going to go back to where it originally was. Okay? So like I said, if you do click the play, it's going to automatically do it. But if, let's say, the finger goes way out here, it's not going to know what to do. It's just going to spaz out and start making its own lines. So I'm just going to keep going ahead and analyzing this forward. So the next one's going to pop up here, here, and as you can tell, it's just going to slowly do its thing. I don't want to do this too much because this is going to be a long tutorial if I do. But I'll just get back to you guys when we're done. Okay, so something that I should mention is, notice how her finger now is, notice how her finger now, this little X, checkmark X that started in the center of the box, it's up here. I don't like how it's at. So that's the plus of using this 1 by 1 each frame. You can just kind of move it, okay? And that's the best way to track, I found. And that's just something I needed to mention because a lot of times if it does get up out of here, the stuff you're tracking with isn't going to move right and it's going to look bad. So I always want to keep this in the center. So if I just do another frame, yep, dead center again. Okay, so we did this and made it really precise looking. Of course, you don't have to spend as much time on this as we did, but to ensure the best results at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you spend a lot of time on this tracking process. Like I said, the outcome is just totally going to depend on this. So if I click Layer, New, Null Object now, that's going to be the next step. You want to trace the null, make sure it's at the very beginning. I have screwed up a lot of my work because I didn't make sure the null was at the beginning. Make sure it's at 0, 0, or lined up with your layer here. So it's got to be the same length. That way it moves, right? Then you go back into your hand, and down here this tracker box was supposed to pop up when you opened up the track motion. If it didn't, you can probably find it within the window here. Tracker is what it's called, I think. Yeah, tracker. So if you don't have that option, just go down here to where it says tracker and click it. Then you want to click on edit target because we haven't really assigned it to anything right now. So if you click edit target, you can click the layer. Now once you create the null, it should just automatically go to the null, but you want to make sure it's there, okay? So clicking OK, and then after that you can just go ahead and click apply. Apply to X and Y. I'm not sure what the other stuff is, just apply it to both. So when you click X and Y, notice now every time I move, this little awesome box moves with my finger, or with my sister's finger, just right there. And as you can see, we did a really good job of moving this together, okay? So, of course, it does end right there. So we're just gonna go ahead and shorten our work comp just to the part that we're focused on, like this. Okay, so now I actually have my layer tracked right. As you can see, this little red box is just stuck right in the center of that black dot that's on her hand the entire time. It looks really nice. Followed it pretty good. This is why it's important that you don't analyze track, because when you analyze track, you lose detail, you lose position. If I was to analyze track this thumb, you notice how it's blurry because of the depth of field. The track might be over here in like this darker part of the finger. The track could be anywhere. It probably won't track it right. So this tracked right where I wanted it. It looks really good. Okay. Now I'm going to apply something to this track. I'm going to show you what you can use with the track. First thing I'm going to do is create a text. We're just going to label this tracking. Oh, cool. Tracking, just like that. And let's put some cool bars on it because we can. Like that. Add another one. There we go. So we got this cool text right here. Now, as you can see, if I skip around and move in the layer, it's not moving with the layer. So to make it move with the layer, I want to parent it to the null here, which I'm going to rename as pinky null. Just like that. Okay, so we got our pinky null, because that is her pinky finger. To parent this, you want to grab the pick whip here. It's a little squiggly Q thing. If you don't see that, if you go down here in the lower left, you can click on that and make sure it just pops up. Actually, it should pop up the whole time, so never mind. You should be seeing that. If you don't, it's down here somewhere. So by clicking on the tracking, you want to grab the pick whip tool. Okay, but go away. You notice it doesn't grab anything. It just kind of spazzes out and goes back to where it's supposed to. But basically, this is going to track it to something. So if I'm grabbing this and put it to here, it's going to do what this does. Now notice this null is set to follow the tracking that we did. Okay, so if I was to pick whip this to the null, then it's going to follow its position where it's at now. It's going to follow that null. So let me pick whip this here and stick it on the null. So now if you notice, when we skip forward, it's going to move with the pinky. Okay? It's pretty cool. It sticks right with it. So we're going to keep up with that. Okay, so if you have any question on today's tutorial or any future suggestions on video, you can leave that down in the comment section. I do roam through there about once a day, and I just would like to see what you guys have suggestions-wise or comments, and maybe just help improve my show a little bit. Also, I do like to stay connected with you guys, so you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/RevolveTV. Also, facebook.com/RevolveTV. If you'd like my personal Facebook, my name is Austin Krottinger, and you can send me a friend request. I'd love to hear from you. And really, with that being said, you can check out two of my videos here. This video right here is a mission trip video that I did record when we went down there to Alabama. Also, up here is my girlfriend's 19th birthday video. Just something I kind of compiled together, and you know, just practicing out with my camera a little bit. So let me know what you guys think about those videos. I appreciate you guys from watching, and on behalf of all of Revolve TV's staff, thank you guys. I think that was pretty good. Yeah. I don't know if they got all of that, but